Arne Slot faces his first real tactical gamble as Liverpool boss, and it could hardly come at a more hostile venue than St. James' Park. The Reds' trip to Newcastle United already promised a test of nerve, but the injury blow at right back has turned it into a selection puzzle that could shape not only this game but the coming weeks of the season. Slot, who has shown himself unafraid of bold decisions since taking charge, must now decide whether to trust youth, rely on experience that isn't fully reliable, or roll the dice with something completely unorthodox. Whatever he chooses, it will say a lot about how he intends to guide Liverpool through moments of crisis. Jeremie Frimpong's hamstring injury could not have come at a worse time. The Dutchman had injected pace and dynamism down Liverpool's right in his early outings, and his ability to stretch defenses offered Slot a weapon that few Premier League sides could match. To see him limp off so soon into his debut campaign felt like a warning shot from the football gods, a reminder that even the most exciting signings aren't immune to cruel twists of fate. The sight of Frimpong being withdrawn against Bournemouth was bad enough, but hearing that he is ruled out until after the international break sends alarm bells ringing. For Slot, this is the first crack in a plan that had looked so promising. So what now? Conor Bradley is back on the grass, called into Northern Ireland duty and slowly rediscovering rhythm after his own setback. But asking him to step straight into a white-hot clash at St. James' Park feels like a gamble too big, even for Slot's liking. This isn't a low-pressure League Cup tie or a steady Anfield home fixture. It's Newcastle away, a cauldron, where intensity is cranked to the maximum, where every challenge is cheered like a goal, and where Liverpool will face waves of black-and-white attacks led by the relentless runs of Anthony Gordon and the direct aggression of Harvey Barnes. Throwing Bradley into that environment without minutes in his legs might risk more than just a poor performance. It could risk his long-term fitness and confidence too. Then there's Joe Gomez, Liverpool's once-trusted defensive jack of all trades, reliable in the past, but worryingly short of rhythm. He has played only a handful of minutes in the league this year. His Achilles has flared up recently, and even Slot has admitted he can't manage 3 full training sessions in a row. That's not the kind of foundation you want when facing Newcastle's explosive wingers. And yet, Gomez remains the most natural defensive option available. He has the experience, he knows what's required, and he has handled pressure in high games before, but can he deliver at full tilt after so little action? That's the million-pound question gnawing away at Slot's Monday. Edges closer, which brings us to the curveball, the experiment that will either be called genius or reckless, depending on the outcome. Could Dominik Szoboszlai really line up? At right back, it sounds wild at first mention, yet those who watched Liverpool's preseason will remember the Hungarian drifting into deeper, wider areas and looking surprisingly comfortable. He isn't a defender by trade, no, but what he offers is control. Newcastle thrive on chaos, on forcing mistakes, on feeding off the adrenaline of the crowd. If Liverpool can slow the game down, take the sting out of challenges, and use quality in possession to silence the noise, Szoboszlai's composure on the ball could be the difference between order and mayhem. His work rate is relentless, his stamina unquestionable, and his competitive streak might just allow him to survive a shift out of position. Slot knows this fixture will be about more than tactics, it's about psychology too. Lose control of the midfield early, allow Newcastle to sense weakness at right back, and the game could spiral away from Liverpool in a matter of minutes. But plug the gap intelligently, hold firm through the storm, and suddenly the Reds can turn the tables and use their attacking firepower to punish Eddie Howe's men. That's why the temptation to start Szoboszlai at right back isn't as crazy as it sounds. It buys time. It allows Slot to keep midfield balance with Gravenberch returning. It avoids burning out Bradley too soon, and it ensures Gomez isn't thrown into a scenario he might not be physically ready for. The risk, of course, is exposure. Gordon and Barnes will not show mercy if they sense weakness, and Newcastle fans will roar with every overlap. Szoboszlai would be tested defensively in ways he rarely has been before. But Liverpool's dilemma is simple. Every option comes with risk. Do you gamble on youth, gamble on fitness, or gamble on the unorthodox? Slot's reputation is being built on his willingness to think differently, And this might be the moment he stamps that identity on his Liverpool tenure for good. It's worth remembering, too, that this isn't the first time Liverpool have arrived at St. James' Park with a makeshift defense. Jarell Quansah's unexpected senior debut there 2 years ago showed how quickly plans can unravel. Last season, Quansah even had to start at right back in the League Cup final against Newcastle. This fixture has a habit of forcing Liverpool into awkward defensive reshuffles, and once again, fate has delivered a headache. The difference now is that Slot, not Klopp, is the man making the calls. If Slot does turn to Szoboszlai for the opening hour, the plan may be to then shuffle the deck as the game wears on. Bradley, if deemed fit enough, could be eased in for the final stretch, or Gomez could be introduced to lock things down once legs begin to tire. That kind of hybrid strategy might allow Liverpool to navigate the storm without overexposing anyone. It's not ideal, but then again, when has a trip to St. James' Park ever been straightforward for Liverpool? What's clear is that Monday night will provide an early glimpse into Slot's bravery, his adaptability, and his willingness to embrace calculated risks. Fans know what's at stake. Drop points this early, and momentum is dented. Win, despite adversity, and the belief in Slot's methods grows stronger. The margins are fine, the atmosphere will be ferocious, and Liverpool's right-back conundrum could end up being the subplot that defines the entire match. One thing is certain, whatever decision Slot makes, it won't just be about Newcastle away. It will set the tone for how Liverpool deal with challenges all season long. Will he play it safe, or will he roll the dice in search of something greater? By the time the final whistle blows under the floodlights of St. James' Park, we'll know whether his gamble has paid off or whether it has left more questions than answers.